delicious co-creators, Lilou here in beautiful Sri Lanka, sitting next to Yasisurie. Did I say this right?
Yes, you said it right.
I just needed to say it so that, I love it. What a beautiful island you live on. Oh my God, what beautiful people. Look at her. Look at this smile and this joy. I love it. Thank you for being you. Oh my God.
And thank you for being you, for praising us so much. But yes, it's wonderful to live in such a beautiful paradise. Yeah. And everything is just turning out so fabulous and so great. And as you can see, people around you are like all full of joy and happiness. That's what we are, I guess, here.
Yeah. And you design clothes. I mean, this is quite a journey, but you do it with the twist of consciousness. You want to bring consciousness really to the planet. And can I say that fashion or design is your way of doing it? But that's kind of not the excuse, but that's your talent, and that's your vehicle.
Yes. Yes, that's my vehicle. Yeah. That's how I impart or give the message of consciousness onto the world and share it, because it's meant to be shared and experienced and enjoyed. Yeah. So I do it through the clothes, through the fashion that I put across to people.
How do you, because when I saw this shirt right away, I'm immediately, and if you can show it, I see the flower of life kind of like symbol. So you put symbols on and you pray, and you tell us about the kind of, not the ritual, but how do you create conscious clothing, for example?
Basically, when I connect with the universe in my meditation or prayer, the information gets downloaded. That's how it happens. So then I get the direction as to how my next collection ought to be. So most of the time it's symbols, but this time it's the flower of life. And as you know, flower of life is the basis of all sacred geometry. That's where sacred geometry springs from. And anybody interested in consciousness, we all know the importance of sacred geometry in creation in itself. Yeah. So in this particular collection, the information just came through the colors, everything. So it basically was just putting it into a physical look. That's it. And once I finish the garments, the fabric, everything just falls into its synchronicity, repeated over and over and over again.
What do you mean synchronicity? Like signs and things happen, and just tell us. I want to just get into your world.
Visions, visions, voices, messages, angels, coming and telling me, do this, do that, don't do this. In my sleep, I get visions. I see the entire silhouette. I see the patterns. I see how it now, as of now, I know exactly what my next collection is going to be, because I was shown that last night, because I just finished this. So I'm shown exactly, even the body silhouette, now this is the pattern, right? So even the silhouette of the body, how it should be shaped, cut, all that is given. So basically, it's just a matter of putting it into place. And once I finish sewing it, yes, I stay and I sit and I pray over the garments. And I pray that the consciousness of the people who wear it will be so full of joy and happiness, and that they would be elevated into another level, and that these clothes would just bring them life. Would bring them into life consciousness, because that's what I believe in. That's what I come from, life consciousness. I don't believe in death at all. So I believe that people are born to live. And, why should we be so concerned about the negativity about the death? So we just focus on immortality, if I may say. So basically that's what this is all about. Mm-hmm. It's about immortality. It's about creating and creating over and over and over again. As you know, the flower of life, it can multiply into so many dimensions over and over again. And each time the creation is something more beautiful, more intricate, more amazing. So the whole feeling is that when they wear this, yes, they create themselves, they recreate themselves, and their entire lives would get recreated, and their entire being would be recreated into something more wonderful than what it was 5 minutes ago, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. And this is quite wonderful, because a lot of people that are into creating, and are artists, we're all creative.
Every moment. Yeah. Every moment we create everything around us. Yeah. That's what we are. We are co-creators of the universe. Yeah.
And co-creating like that, sometimes, there is the part where you have those you have those ideas, and then you put that in place, but there comes a time where, you want the revenues to come in and support. Were you ever in that fear of, how do you get from creating your clothes to receiving, this week at the Colombo Fashion Week prize for the next designer, award? How do you get there? This is quite something, was it because I felt right away when I was on the Juicy tour, there was a push, there was a support, there was something magical around it. Where's the point where you went in that space? You know?
That happened right after somewhere around July last year when I started the company, and then I did this 7-day program with Kirby, and then itself it was like an opening to a different dimension altogether, and suddenly there was this immense joy. Would you believe it that I have not cried since July last year? Because it's impossible, and I keep telling him, like, it's impossible, I cannot cry. And he's like, because you've been given so much of joy. I feel I'm sensitive like ever more than I've ever been, but there's so much of joy and so much of happiness and abundance, and that's all I see abundance, and I cannot see anything else. So I went boldly at it, and I knew that I was I was protected. I knew that I was safe. I felt, just like you said, I felt this sense of being enveloped in so much of love and so much, I'm feeling it right now as we speak, so much of energy and so much of, just go ahead. I'm going to take care of everything, just like that. And so I did, and I applied for Colombo Fashion Week. My designs got chosen, and then the finances came through. It just happened. We just got the money. So I honestly don't know how it worked out. If you ask me,
but it did.
Whether it was planned or whether, okay, did you plan it? Did you work on it? Like, no, I didn't. Because if I said I did, that would be lying. So it just worked out that way. I just got it. I cannot say how, because I believed that I would get it, because I knew that I was just surrendered to the universe, and the universe took care of me, if I may put it that way. And the garments, the finishing, the laser cut, the people, the persons, the contacts, the sewing people, the finishing people, the bags, everything. There's so many details that has to go into place, right? And then for the show, the jewelry, the models, the fits, and suddenly, even before I knew it, I was right up there, and then everybody was just clapping and joyous, and the response I got was overwhelming. And then the following day, I go to watch the final day of the show, and then they award me as the Gen Next designer. That means the most promising designer for time to come.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is actually. So
exciting.
Extremely exciting, and
it just happened. This just happened.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put it into words to explain to you how it happened, but I cannot because
it's beyond our comprehension or us.
It's beyond me. It is truly beyond me. But when you come into that place where you're so connected and you just surrender, surrendering is the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spiritual experience that you can have. And everything just gets taken care of. And not that you don't know, not that you're not aware, you know where you're going. I know in a few years this is where I'm going to be. I know this is where I'll be in 10 years. I know that. But how you get there, the workings of it is not in my hands. The workings of it just happens. Because everything in our lives, as Kabi must have told you, everything in our lives happens not through works, but by grace. So if you call this grace clothing, I guess you can call them grace clothing, because everything that went into it came through grace, right from the conception of it up until the execution and the final product, and then the award as well, is complete grace.
I know that you're also a healer, and you do Reiki and all that work. Do you think, and you went to meet Sai Baba, and you do so many different things in your life. Is that do you still practice healing, that kind of healing, or do you think you're carrying it now with you, and you're automatically in your presence, other people get it, and you share it quite vastly and unlimitedly now?
I think it's more the second. Just by being in the presence, that people would get healed, and just by consciousness alone. So if you ask me whether I do practice yoga or Reiki as I used to, no, I don't know any of that anymore, because I know now that I am connected to something that operates from a higher frequency, basically. So no works, nothing, no symbols, nothing is required. It just happens. It just happens. So minute you just have to, you don't even have to think. It just, if you're aware, and then you look at a person, and and sometimes I look at a person, I can see like what's wrong in that person's body. And I would go and ask if I'm prompted, not always. If I'm prompted, I would say, do you have a pain down there? And do you want healing? Then I would just pray over that person for like a few minutes, and it would be okay. I just did like half an hour before I came here. I did that to somebody, and the person got healed. So it's everything, because consciousness
It happens not just in work.
Exactly.
How is your love life? Oh my God, your sex life, your love life must have expanded too. Because as you said, it goes everywhere.
Well, that's of course still I'm connected to God only. I haven't thought of that. I would say more on the workings with my designs, not my love life and my sex life. But yes, I believe that somebody awesome is going to come along.
Oh, you've heard that? Oh my God, I love this part of the Juicy tour when you never know who's going to watch. Oh my God. Around the world, it might happen on the other side of the planet.
You never know.
You don't say how and when.
Exactly. You don't say how or when. It just happens when it's right.
So consciousness, you're saying, goes everywhere, in all areas. You trust now.
Yes, I trust now. And the difference is it's been such a short time that I've come into this level of consciousness, and so many things in my life has changed. It's just been like, I've been telling Kirby, it's been a crazy 5 months of my life. I've been on a roller coaster ride. I mean, everything. It's just, and my business is expanding so fast that I can't get hold of it. I'm like, okay, fine, I need to hire another person. I need to get more machines. And, I'm thinking of that. More store space. And I'm thinking of retailing now and, looking at places like that.
Coming to Europe?
Yeah, definitely. I have orders already. I have orders from the UK already.
How are you? And there's no panic, huh? There's no panic in this expansion. It's right.
None whatsoever. It's just calm, peaceful, enjoy, happiness, and knowing that everything is going to fall into place. There is absolutely no anxiety or panic of any sort, because you know it's going to work out. Because in that state of awareness, everything is just going to fall into place, and even the clothes you wear, it's going to get sold. That people are going to enjoy it, people are going to love it, and so far
it's done.
It's done. Sorry, yeah. It's done. It's done and over with.
Yeah. It's not just done and over with, but it's like it continues to grow too, and it's life. I hear there's a life of its own.
It does. And it keeps evolving further.
Clothes have the life of their own.
Yes, they do. And so this will keep evolving for sure. The designs will keep evolving as we keep evolving, and everything around us will keep evolving, because it's life, it's immortality. That's what we believe in, and that's what's going to, because that is our consciousness. That is what manifests in our life in every possible way. There is no space for anything else.
I love it. Is there? I feel like we have really covered somewhat the short interview, but I feel really I grasp your beautiful, joyful, abundant world, and there is yet this whole. We can add a piece on the whole symbolism, that you try and. I mean, does it come to you? Do you understand why those symbols too, or is it just tell us more?
Before I actually get the downloading of the designs and how the symbols should be, I always get like messages saying, look into this, look into that. Like if I give you a peep into what I'm working on next, it's from the golden mean, phi, the golden mean. Yeah. So now what I do is when I get the message, then I start researching. So I go online and I research. Yeah. And
then you bump into my videos.
Oh yeah, that too.
No, because those topics.
Yes, definitely.
We're all interlinked these days.
Exactly, all interconnected. And how Leonardo da Vinci and the Greeks, everything they created was using phi, or the golden mean. Yeah. So when Leonardo da Vinci painted, every measurement that he took in his art was taken according to those geometric measurements. So the knowledge or the information that I'm getting right now is that on my garments, the measurements or the dimensions that I should use should be taken. That's what God is instructing me to do, or the universe is instructing me to do right now. I would say God, because it's a personal journey for me. So what he's telling me is use this in your art. Use this in your creation. And if you see, you take the ancient Greek architecture, and you'll see how, not architecture, sculpture. You see how beautiful and perfect the human body is sculptured on it.
And naked. And
naked, of course. They were very naked. And then you take the Romans, who came soon afterwards, and you can see how the sculpture doesn't look so perfect anymore, because they stopped following the dimensions of fire, or the golden mean. So golden mean is how God uses to perfect things, to create perfection. So I'm just getting that right now, like in heavy doses. Sometimes I'm wide awake and I'm seeing things right in front of my eyes, and then then I would get the message, then somebody would give me a book. So it's synchronizing into itself. So at the end of the day, in a couple of weeks or months, I would have the full knowledge downloaded. Then he would start showing me the body shapes, the silhouettes, and what colors and all those things, and how it should be, how many pieces, all that. Every single intricate detail is taken care of.
Do you ask, or is it just you just wait for it to come?
I ask as well. I say, okay, now I've done this, what should I do next?
Because it's a conversation with the universe.
Yeah, it's a relationship. It's a very personal, intimate, close-hearted relationship. So I ask him, say, okay, so now I've done this, now what should I do next? And should I do this or this? And then I would get like, no, wait, or wait, this is coming next, or do this, or don't do this. So everything, it's not just in creation, but including the choosing of the fabric, the finishes, the kind of where I should show it or what I should do with it, how many pieces I should sew in it. Every single thing is taken care of.
Did you have to make some difficult choices? Or you have to, like, say no to some people that you not want to work with, or to say no to a certain fabric, or choose, like make some a little bit tougher decisions, like, because that doesn't ring right to your heart, or only good things presents themselves?
I so far haven't come across any roadblocks. The fabric that I've got so far has been really amazing, which I don't know how that happened. And when we did the testing on the fabric, it was just perfect. And the people I work with, they didn't come with the consciousness that I carry in the beginning, but then through me, I suppose, now they're so positive, and my office is like laughing and giggling all the time, and everybody's talking of God, and there's no worry or anxiety, because it shouldn't be just me, it should be everybody who's around me. And that's just happening. It just happens. Like one of my sewing ladies, when she first started working with me, she just started losing weight for no reason. She was not on a diet, she was not working out, but she just kept losing weight. She's like, oh wow, I'm losing weight,
I'm loving it.
Yeah, and that's consciousness. I said, see, that's consciousness, because you're changing, because the energy gets imparted. It's obvious, right? Energy keeps moving. So things like that. And likewise, if we're having like something like we're running out of fabric, or, now there was a situation when we were preparing for CFW, where we ran out of fabric and it was late night, and then following day we had to go and get the stuff ready. But nobody panicked. Nobody freaked out. Nobody got excited. So I went, got the fabric the following morning, finished everything right on time, and went and got it done. And when we went for fit-ons, some of the garments were too tight, because before a show, you have to fit the garments onto the model and check and see. But they didn't panic. I didn't panic. We went home, calmly redid it, had enough time, and then went and it fitted perfectly. So when you have that level of consciousness where you have, the most important thing is the relationship. Because when it's, because most of the time what we do is we keep God out there, and then we are here, and then it seems impersonal. Right? It's like, oh, universe, you're vast, you're huge, and I'm just this tiny little thing. Like, no, I am the universe. I am part of that. I am the universe, so I am part of the universe. Either would do. And then you start relating to it, and you start relating to him, right? And you can call universe him, I would say, as a person. And then the universe starts responding to you in the same manner, very, very intricately, very personally. And then the universe shows you exactly what the possibilities are and everything. And when you have that level of trust, it's like this: when you're in a relationship and you're with your boyfriend, and you trust the guy to be faithful to you, he automatically becomes faithful to you because of your trust in him. Yeah. It's natural. It's that connection. That's the same relationship you have with God or the universe. There's no separation. It's the same thing. The micro gets reflected in the macro, and vice versa. There's no separation. So, and that is not only when it comes to your work, which is amazing. I feel so free and so relaxed. And
you look like you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I am.
Yes. And it's a joy to have met you and do this interview. Yes.
Thank you very much. It was awesome to meet you. Thank you so much.
I'm excited to be in Sri Lanka and to have this opportunity through the internet to share your story and your light and your love and your joy, so that, because these are wonderful examples around the world, this is happening everywhere. So I'm grateful for the job that I'm doing. I also follow my intuition, and the signs and the people come, and everything is just, it's a beautiful universe we live in. My delicious co-creators, enjoy this beautiful ride. Big kisses. Much love. Bye-bye.